Okay, so we got a 2016 Colorado with a no start. No crank, actually, not no start, just no crank. Let me get you set up and let me get an umbrella because that means the sun is going to overheat my phone and it's not going to record. All right, so like I said, 2016 Chevy Colorado. It's got a no crank condition. Now this one, you got to be a little careful on these. This is where we should probably use another tool. Let me just confirm where my starter relay is. Get off me. AC clutch starter K2. So that's this one here. So I gotta get something else. All right, so like I was saying, a few things to be careful of. You guys watch me, you know, I do things a little bit different than most technicians. First thing we're going to start off with is, do you see how small those slits are right there? Right here, where the relay goes? You can't just jam a test light in there. You need to have some good pins. I get these pins off of compressor pigtails. So I use that, and you can put a fuse in it and use it as a jumper wire. This one's a little long and excessive, but it is what it is. Let me go turn the key on. So something else to remember when it comes to some of these vehicles when you're testing the relays. This one, for instance, I believe will set. Okay, we got one power. I believe it'll set a code when you try to crank it with the relay out. Okay, so we got 2 grounds here. So that means right here, we're looking for a power on crank. I don't know if I'm going to get it because I think it's going to set a code. Yeah, so turning the key, which this should be power control, it's not doing it. So we'll come in, just double check my wiring, make sure I'm correct, which I'm pretty certain we are here. Okay, so let's zoom in a little here. All right, so this is our starting circuit. So here is our starter relay right here on the side. So we've got a fuse. Okay, that fuse comes in. This is our starter line right here. It's where our load's going to be. Then we have a permanent ground, and that means that the engine control module uses a switch in there to control our power side once we have all the other information that we need. So on Chevrolet, most of the time, the way that is it pass lock, key, into the body control module, then out of the body control module to the engine control module, and then from the engine control module to the relay. So, just to show you what I was talking about. So, now that we know our wiring, we know that we were testing the wiring correctly. But because we take the relay out and we attempt to start it, it's I don't remember what that showed on there. That was either a pull up or a pull down circuit, I think. No, it's not. That's not how that works, is it? Who cares? That's a question for Scanner Danner. Let him answer that for you. Okay, so let's go to engine, code menu. So yeah, right there. So starter relay control circuit low voltage and high voltage. That should be because I have the relay out. So what are we going to do in this type of situation? Not the only thing we can do, if I had extra tools, which I don't own these, and maybe I'll buy them, those relay jumpers that plug into here and then you can plug the relay on top, and then it's got the pins that stick out on either side. You could use that. That way you can test to make sure you're getting that control. In this situation, I'm just going to go down to the starter and make sure it's getting power. I know you can't hear it, but that relay is super loose in there. Let's plug that into there. Which one is K1? AC clutch? Let's see if that does anything. That really does. Shakes back and forth. Maybe that relay's broke. No. And I know you guys can't hear it on camera, but I can hear the starter clicking. But I just came up with something, and I didn't come up with it. This is not, I'm not saying I invented it. I was thinking out loud when I was talking to you guys. Or not thinking out loud, just thinking in my head for a minute there, talking about that other tool. Oy, Jesus Christ. So here's a relay. This is what we're going to do. So that way we don't set a code. Ow, son of a monkey's uncle. Okay, so here's a relay. All right, so where's our contacts on this thing? All right, let me get behind the camera. All right, so right here, these are the contacts for the relay, okay? Let me see if I can properly do this. So here's the contacts for the relay. Right there. This is your coil winding, right? Got a little resistor in there. So what we can do, because I don't have that tool, take this out. Let's see if I could see. Where the terminals are on this one. You know, so we know how a relay works. A relay is just a magnetic clutch. Get off. Dang, bro, I am getting like bit by some stuff out here. You can hear the starter click. Okay. So what I really wanted to do was this line right here, this top left, that's where our control should be. So what we can do, because we're looking for a power. On that line. Oop. Okay. So, what I was trying to get at before, but trying to make this work correctly, we took the cover off of the relay. Okay, so there's our relay, all right? This is just a test relay. Here's the original right here. So we were, okay, so if we watch here, like I was saying before, we had those codes because we're pulling the relay out and we're turning the key. These Colorados will set codes, and then it's the possibility that it may hold off actuating the starter. And if that's the case, pulling a relay to do the test like we do on the older Chevrolets is not a good idea. So again, you got to know your vehicles. So in this one, I take this test relay. This is the leg that comes from the PCM. So now when I go to start it, this multimeter that you're not seeing in the camera right there should go up to vehicle voltage. Now the battery's a little low right now, but you should watch this and the voltage should go up just fine. So right now, key off and then crank. And you should have seen that go up to approximately 10 volts, 11 volts, because like I said, the battery's a little dead at the moment. Okay, I quickly checked the camera. It only goes up to about 8 volts, but this battery's really freaking dead right now. And we're putting a load on it with a starter that is crap, so it's pulling even heavier load across that line. But anyway, I know that was a little scattered, probably the way that the editing is going to go on that, because sometimes I talk crazy and do stupid things. But another starter relay test where you could screw yourself without the correct tools. So my advice to you, if you want to invest in them, invest in those relay jumpers. They plug directly into a relay port, and then the relay plugs in the top. And it puts the prongs out of the sides. They come out the side of it, so that way you can put your meter on it and test with a load. If you can't test with a load, sometimes you could be wrong. So let me get this battery disconnected real quick. And then we're gonna climb underneath and get that starter out. Okay, these angles really suck, but dropping everything here. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to film this well, guys, but there's your starter. I need to get it out. I don't have a place to put the camera at the moment. So I'm not recording me taking this starter out. I will show you when I'm done, but I'm gonna get this knocked out real quick because that's in a really tight, crappy spot. Be right back. Okay, got the starter out. So here's the old one. This one was installed in Miami. It looks like they used a good part number. It says Denso, and it's got the GM part number on it. I bought an AC Delco for the customer because this was not a cheap starter, and it was the only one they had in town. So I'm not sure. I wonder where she got it from, but here's your new one. Same thing, GM Denso, using a good part. But I am going to climb back under there and put this thing in. Wish me luck. Okay. Starter's in, jump box is on. Let's see how we got. All right. Okay, so we're good. Bit of success there. All right, so there you have it. There's your Colorado. Oh, kicking the camera, sorry. Anyway, there's your Colorado. It's running. We're done. Time to move on to the next job. Stay there. So, don't forget, when you're testing those circuits, newer vehicles, if you pull the relays, you can create codes. I don't know if in this one it'll inhibit the control for it, but it could, so don't rule that out. Okay. All right, well, that's it. We're done. Close this up and get out of here. Go on to the next job.